Shalom. The wrong thing to learn from 9/11. We're getting close to the 10th anniversary of the horrific day, September 11th in 2001, when America was attacked by Islamic jihadists trying to destroy Western civilization. And I can just begin to see that all the wrong lessons are being learned in the popular media, talking about tolerance and it's a time to put away our fears. It's exactly the wrong, stupid message. What's the right message? The world is a very dangerous place and getting more dangerous. Maimonides, in his comments on why we blow the ram's horn on our holiest day of Rosh Hashanah and the end of Yom Kippur, he says that we blow it to awake from our spiritual slumber. Well, America, it's time to awake from your spiritual slumber. The world has not gotten safer since 9/11, it's gotten worse. In fact, Congressman Allen West, who's one of the real rising stars in the United States Congress, former military man, just got back from Israel with a large congressional delegation. And he talked about the danger that Americans are not seeing about the rising Islamic caliphate. And President Obama is aiding and abetting that caliphate. I know a lot of you think that's extreme, but just pay attention to this. Okay, Libya is now fallen. Now, Gaddafi was not a good guy by any means. But what's going to replace him is far worse, which will be a Islamic jihadist state. And Libya did try and build a nuclear bomb. They stopped, but they still have a lot of that material. And so now you're going to have terrorists running Libya who can pack that dirty bomb stuff in backpack and send it across the Canadian and Mexican border. We can't stop that. You really think that's not going to happen? And then Egypt. Mubarak did everything the United States asked him. He was one of our best allies. Of course, he wasn't a big, Democrat, and there might have been problems in Egypt, but again, Obama used NATO air forces to push Gaddafi out of Libya, therefore allowing the Islamic jihadists to take over there, Al-Qaeda. And in Egypt, the same thing. He said Mubarak had to go, pushed Mubarak out, and now what's going to replace that is Muslim Brotherhood people, the mother of all terrorist organizations, and Obama explicitly says we should negotiate with them. The mother of all terrorist organizations. They're going to control Egypt soon. And then you think about Gaza with Hamas, which is Iran-inspired. Then Hezbollah controls Lebanon and the north of Israel. Syria now under assault. It's a bad, Assad is not a good guy. What's going to replace him will be a violent Islamic jihadist state. And I'll bet you anything that within a year or two, Jordan starts to fall from the same Islamic jihadist. So Israel will be completely surrounded. And no thanks to stopping it by Obama. And so in addition to that, we've got the much more serious problem of Pakistan with 100 nuclear bombs under assault by the Taliban. And as soon as we pull out of Afghanistan, you know what's going to happen there. And Iran is also a huge problem, and Obama has done everything he could to delay sanctions and implementing strong sanctions. It's clear now from all reports that he's willing to have a nuclear bomb in Iran. We even have one Republican candidate, Ron Paul, who says no problem, it's not our business. And none of the Republican candidates are talking about this as a priority. You think the economy is a problem? You wait till Iran gets a nuclear bomb and they start sending dirty bomb material and Hezbollah backpacks across our borders. They shoot off 100 missiles. They're willing to lose half their population. They've been very clear about that if they can destroy Israel and the United States. And so we've got a lot of very serious issues. Now, I'm, again, not saying that all Muslims and all Arabs are bad. In fact, there's some that speak out openly against the hostility in the Muslim world. Part of the problem is the vast majority sit idly by and say nothing, which is a sin in Judaism. The Torah specifically says you're not allowed to sit idly by while the blood of your neighbor is spilt. And just keep remembering the words of Isaiah, who said, "For Zion's sake I will not be silent." I know there's a lot of Christian evangelicals who keep quoting Genesis 12:3, who say that one of the reasons to support Israel is because I will bless those and bless you. Well, in my opinion, President Obama says, I will bless those who curse you and curse those who bless you. He seems to be supporting the enemies of freedom and democracy in Israel and not the supporters. And so we've got huge problems here, and those are the lessons to draw from 9/11. It's not a time to sleep. It's not a time to sit idly by, but it's a time to take action. I think the most important thing we can do is to work for the defeat of Barack Obama in 2012. That'll be the first step in rectifying a lot of grievances and a lot of problems. We have to get a guy in there who understands these world issues, is not aiding and abetting the enemies of freedom, whether he's doing it tacitly implicitly or explicitly or by accident or incompetence. Whatever his motivation is, he's certainly doing that. And under his watch, Iran's going to get a nuclear bomb. Libya is going to become an Islamic jihadist state. So will Egypt. Syria will get worse. Lebanon's gotten worse. He's messed up foreign affairs all over the world. The Arab countries hate him, even though he's tried to, to their tuchas. It's just a complete incompetency, and maybe by design. In any case, these are the lessons to learn from 9/11, not we should all be nice together, kumbaya, hold hands. It's a very scary world, and we have to do everything we can to ensure what we personally can do. Remember these words from Rabbi Tarfon of the Talmud 2,000 years ago. He says, "It's not up to us to complete the task, but neither are we free to desist from it." We can't go about our normal business, just going to restaurants, going on vacations, worrying about our jobs. I mean, that's all very important jobs. But the world security and freedom and providing for the common defense and the common welfare, that is what our priority has to be. And so push your elected officials, push these Republican candidates, push them to understand the powerful and important issues that we need to draw from 9/11 in a celebration so that we can have a happy and productive future. This is going to be a long fight with Islamic jihadism, 100 years, and we can't give up. We cannot stop. We cannot rest, because this is the survival of Western civilization and the survival of the world that's at stake. Because they have a phased plan to impose Sharia in all of these countries, in the whole world. You don't think it's happening in the United States with the growing immigration all through Europe? You can see it happening even at a more accelerated pace. This is the serious issue. Again, not all of Islam, but certainly there's enough out there to cause concern and deep worry.